Alright, so now that all of the crazy puzzles have sort of gotten out of the way, we've taken care of everything in our previous video, I figured for the next one we'd go ahead and just go over all of the secret little fishing spots that are throughout the entire mountain. Because for the most part, I've been reading over in my Discord server and a lot of people seem to be asking questions like, where's Overgrowth Caves? Or how do I find the Glacial grotto or the Frigid cavern? And honestly, man, these are really good questions because although the game sort of does tell you sometimes whenever it wants to sort of pop up at the very top as soon as you walk into one of these caves, it doesn't exactly do it every single time. On top of that, to make matters even more confusing, it seems like you can sort of catch fishes all over the place. Sometimes you'll be working on Glacial Grotto and all of a sudden you end up with a fish that's from a completely different zone. So I think the best way right now is to just go ahead and lay out all of the different areas that you can fish, especially the ones that are sort of hidden, some in massive open caves, as well as others that are just a tiny little sliver in a wall that if you really weren't paying attention, you can walk right past it. Now, just like we did it yesterday, we're going to go ahead and pretty much take the linear approach here, just travel up the mountain, and as we approach these different zones, I will pull over to the side and tell you guys where to check it out. With that being said, we have just approached our very first little summit camp here. Just to give you guys a little bit of context of the location that we're at, over here is the cave where you would find the blue crystal. Now, we don't exactly need to do anything here, so we're just going to continue moving on because our first stop is actually right up ahead from this location right now. Once you've reached this point here where you can go left to a cave and right to continue traversing up the mountain, on the left-hand side, you're going to find the very first sort of little hidden cave. Inside of here, there's really absolutely nothing to do. If you remember my video from yesterday, I told you this is a good spot to go ahead and get the glass diamonds. Now, if we go ahead and open up our bestiary here, then you'll know that that means that this is obviously going to be Overgrowth Caves, which honestly, you wouldn't be wrong. The problem is that this isn't the only place where you can get glass diamond. And that sort of goes back to the entire thing that I was saying where things are a little bit confusing right now, but hopefully as we get bug fixes and stuff like that, it'll get better. Either way, with that being said, like I just mentioned, you can pretty much complete a decent amount of the Overgrowth bestiary from this area. I've been fishing here for quite some time and I haven't been able to get any of these four. Could just be a skill issue thing, or it could also just mean that I am overly skilled because I am getting the mythicals with no problem. Either way, with that being said, let's move on to the next one. Now, as you continue traveling through the path, you will eventually end up at this point right here, which is basically the cave where you go ahead and find your green crystal. Again, these are more or less the obvious ones because they are sort of in plain sight. But if you travel inside of here, you'll notice that we get absolutely no pop-up or anything that says what this is. But inside of here, you will be catching mostly things that are in the Frigid cavern section. I'll actually give this a try really quick and we'll try and catch something here. Let's see if we end up getting something from the Frigid cavern. So right there, we got a ice eel, which if we open up here, that is indeed from the Frigid cavern. So again, like I said before, one of the more obvious ones. So we won't really spend too much time here. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Now let's sort of assume that you went ahead and continued climbing up the path as if you were making your way all the way to the very top. Eventually, you will make it to the second bridge in this mountain. The first one obviously being the bridge where you would go ahead and purchase your avalanche totem. This second bridge actually has an area right underneath where you can go ahead and do a little bit of fishing as well. If you notice, there's a little bit of ladders here for you to be able to get your way back up if you need to. And if we go ahead and catch something here, this one I actually spent quite a decent amount of time at. But if you notice, we got a chillfin herring, and opening up our bestiary, that is the Cryogenic canal. Personally, I spent a good amount of time fishing in here and I was never able to get a glacial sturgeon from here. But there is another area that I'm going to show you guys, which is kind of what I was saying before on how things get a little confusing. Because technically speaking, if this is the Cryogenic canal, which I basically catch only fish from inside of this bestiary here, then I technically should be able to get the glacial sturgeon from here. But like I said, that isn't the case. So what we're going to do now is climb all the way back up and we're going to continue on the path here as if we were going to keep going straight up. As a quick little reference point, we are about to pass the little secret cave off here to the right side where you can go ahead and do the lever puzzle. But instead, we're going to ignore that and continue moving. Now, a little further ahead from that one, this is one that a lot of people tend to kind of walk right past. But once you get to this little section right here where it kind of makes you climb down and then climb back up and then climb up again, if you sort of glide across here and instead of climbing up that ladder to continue moving on, you climb up this ladder and then climb these rocks over here and walk inside of here, there's a completely hidden area inside of here where you can basically fish. Cool thing is that it's very similar to Vertigo, where if you drop all the way down, there's actually conscious for sale here. And the second interesting part about this is that this is actually where I caught my glacial sturgeon. As a matter of fact, this is where I catch the vast majority of my glacial sturgeon. So right there, we got a snowflake smelt, which if you notice, it is the cryogenic canal. So I have a feeling that maybe this is just a continuation of the cryogenic canal. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just completely coping right now, and this is just a complete coincidence that I'm catching literally a mythical right now. It really feels like all the mythicals that I catch are inside of this little cave right here instead of over there. I mean, literally, I just caught the Aurora trout and then I'm catching a sturgeon literally right after that. This area right here has been giving me some really good results, and a lot of you guys have been telling me in the Discord to sort of compare this to depths, which we'll probably do a video on that very soon. And honestly, don't even get me started with using an Aurora inside of here. It's actually kind of insane. But you see, if you notice, we get like all these pop-ups. Like if I'm on this side, it's Overgrowth caves, but then if I'm on this side, it's Frigid cavern. Like it's really confusing, and I think that's why a lot of people are having struggles right now with sort of knowing what cave is what. Either way, let's finish climbing all the way up here, and we're gonna make our way over to the next little secret cave. If you haven't caught on already, this is when they start getting really good, because these are the actual hidden ones. All right, so let's assume that you went ahead and made your way out. You continued climbing up the mountain all the way to the very top. This next one seems to be like probably one of the more hidden ones, and it's mainly because a lot of people sort of just skip right past it, which, to be fair, for two reasons, it's extremely easy to miss this. Number one, by the time that people get to this point right here, usually what they're doing is climbing up the wall and just sort of bypassing everything, going straight to this area over here. Instead of climbing all the way around and sort of wasting all that time, you can just sort of bypass all the way to the very end like this, and you're done. Like, that's it. You made it to the end. You don't have to do all that extra climbing. Besides that, let's assume that you decided not to climb up this wall, and instead you continued going up. If you notice, the hole in the wall is so tiny. It's literally like a tiny little sliver. Super easy to miss, but if you come inside of here, there is a completely different chamber inside of here, which I feel like this might be the grotto. And you'll probably notice that I technically have not caught a single fish inside of here. And there's a really good reason for that, which I want to go ahead and give you guys a fair warning. Please don't pause the video right now. Trust me, you want to listen to me in this portion. So while this room is incredibly beautiful and very much secret, it does unfortunately currently have one downfall. It's probably best if I just show you really quick. So here's the catch. If you make your way all the way to the bottom and you're all excited, you're like, yeah, dude, I found the grotto. This is so awesome. Let me fish inside of here. The problem is that, well, actually, never mind. I think they may have fixed it. Anyways, before, what ended up happening inside of here is that you would just literally freeze. But I guess they kind of fixed it now. I mean, it's working. This is kind of sick, actually. I've literally not been able to fish in here at all because every time that I came in here, it would just crash. This actually brings me happiness. But yeah, if you go ahead and take a look, we actually just got the frostbite flounder from the Glacial grotto. So if you're looking for this area, look no further. You have officially found it. And look at that, dude. We just got the mythical. Wait a minute. Negative 50%. Come on. We got this. The ice beard shark. Dude, let's go. That's actually sick. Well, anyways, I take back everything that I said about this area. And that pretty much does it for every single one of the secret little fishing areas as of right now, man. Hopefully this helps you guys have a general understanding. Again, I know that it's a little bit difficult right now because of the fact that the labels are sort of missing. Aha! See what I'm saying, chat? I'm not going crazy. It literally just froze. This is what happens inside of here. I don't know why. I only ever have this issue when I fish inside of the grotto. Thought it was fixed. It really hyped me up there for a second, but it has not been fixed. This is actually torture. Seeing somebody else move while I'm completely frozen is terrible. But anyways, man, hopefully this goes ahead and helps you guys out. If it does, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Be very careful inside of this grotto, man. Dangerous place. Hopefully later on tonight, we should be getting some type of bug fixes from the developers. And who knows, man, we might even be seeing some buffs. Hopefully I earned a like from you guys. Subscribe to the channel. We are inching day by day closer to that 300K, and I appreciate it so much, man. Either way, that's gonna do it for this video. Like always, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care while I continue being frozen here.